Welcome guys, welcome back to Gunpla Network, and I'm Mark obviously, with my review of the Striker GNX Mario Renato's mobile suit from High Grade Build Fighters series. So this is actually in Battle Log 4, episode 4, this one is, and we are proudly sponsored by Banzai Hobby here. Thank you very much to them. This kit is actually really good, guys. I didn't like it in the anime. I didn't like the look of it when I was assembling it. But then about midway through, stop that there, it kind of grew on me. I actually really like it now. It's a really solid kit. It has some asymmetrical looks to it. I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to fix it up. There are some spare parts and I'll make it more symmetrical. So yeah, all right, let's start. Boxart out of 10. The box art is pretty cool, standard build fighters type thing. So yeah, out of 10, I would probably rate that a 6.5, 7. Not too bad. Overall look of the kit. So out of 10, I would probably give it, if you built it according to the box, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's okay. What I haven't got on there at the moment is the little helmet piece that slides over the horn, and it actually doesn't lock in place. It just kind of floats there. This is a tactical mobile suit. It's heavily armored. It's got a few weapons. We'll get to the accessories in a minute, but I don't like the look. What I do prefer is if you remove this, you have the Jinx head. So you can see that there. These guys have the X across the face. That's actually the sticker, and that one wasn't too bad. I haven't put many others on because I'm going to be using this in our upcoming review of the Gundam markers. So I wanted to paint some stuff on. I think definitely 6 out of 10. This shoulder piece, there actually you get another one of those. So I'm going to replace the blasting pod, missile pod on this side with another shield to make it more symmetrical, and I think that'll look a lot better. So out of look, 6 out of 10, but you can make it slightly better obviously with some painting and using some other pieces on it. Articulation and posing. I was very surprised. One of the things that turned me around on this kit and why I enjoy it more is because you can actually pose this thing a lot. Like these things do move, this not so much on the leg, but the ankles and feet, the feet are quite wide, quite solid. You can actually pose it in a varying positions, holding weapons, whatever, and it won't sag, it won't fall. So I don't know how that'll be over time, but it is actually quite solid as it goes. Just take these out for now. So posing, pretty good. Articulation, there's some flaps here on the side or front skirts that do pop out. They're just held in there with a peg. If you move them around too much, but they're not too bad. Waist, you can go side to side like that. It probably would go all the way around because it's just a ball joint there, but arms, backpack, armor do get in the way. Arms can only go so high because the armor clashes against each other. Without the backpack, you can go right round, but once the backpack is on, you can really only go 180. The head actually has almost no articulation to speak of, and that'd be because of the collar and armor. Once again, heavily armored suit, no articulation. This, when this is on, really nothing. It's yeah, so the head's not great. These blades, blockers on the side will come out. They can go up, down, they don't twist that way, but you can move them around. And that goes both sides. They have that articulation, so you can extend them out and have them spinning various ways. On the legs, you can go up so far. I mean, you kind of have to start moving the armor on the side skirt, the front skirts out of the way to get any higher than that, and then they can go out. Ankle, not too bad. The ankle can spin, it can go back and forth. Oops. And that is the other problem with this kit. You do have things pop off from time to time. It's fairly, oh, there goes the backpack. It's fairly solid, but I found that particularly the back skirt here, that does come off a bit. Nothing a drop of glue wouldn't fix if it was painted or, you know, just permanently going on a shelf. The rear skirt, rear leg armor goes up and down, collides with the back skirt. In terms of the legs going back, they can go a bit further back than they can go forward, because with the forward they're blocked by the thruster and armor on the front. They can turn, you know, fairly wide actually, because they're on a peg in there, and that's on a ball, so it can go all the way around. It's pretty good on the legs, I must admit. Like, you can't get as high as some kits. You can't go all the way forward, but that's not a problem. The arms, I forgot to mention, do go up like 90 degrees like that, and standard ball wrist rotation. They go around. It's pretty good apart from the shoulders where they hit the backpack. Now the backpack, that's the mechanism there. It just goes onto peg at the back. This is based on the original Jinx kit, I would say, from 2007, I think. And it's just got a whole lot of new pieces. I mean, on the backpack, these will rotate, you know, obviously be hitting the body at that point. Those go around, and that's it. It's fairly straightforward. It was a nice, easy build, but we'll just put that back on. So yeah, I mean, obviously you can only go so far, but you know, this is good posing for when you're on an action base, and I found it difficult to get one on with the adapter I had for it. I'm not sure, it doesn't actually picture in the guide what you should use with it, but I found one that did fit, and I think it'd probably look good in a flying pose, but I think I'm going to have this guy in a standing pose because he's actually that solid in the cabinet, and probably owing that to these wide feet that they have there. So, articulation and posing out of 10, 7 out of 10. It's fairly good. It's very surprising. It's one of the features that brought me around to liking this kit more. Accessories. Now, he's wearing a ton of the armor, guys. You don't get much more than what you see. Like I said, you can put the headpiece on there, like that. You get the 2 beam saber handles and 2 orange blades, pretty good length ones. The 2 holding hands and 1 left hand open claw hand. And the feature item, the BFG. We're just going to call it, guys. Big beep gun. You understand what I'm talking about. Articulation wise for the gun itself, I mean, you have these handles here and here. What you can do is you can actually, they're locked in place at the moment, but they pull up and then they can swing side to side depending on, you know, how you're holding it. And you would have seen the quick look video. One of the ways to pose it. I don't know how many other ways you could. I mean, you could have him holding it like that with a beam saber in the other one. The beam saber, interestingly, because it's pictured there, you can do this and it tells you to do it in the guide. Take one of the handles and there's a hole here in the end. And what you can do, drop that through there, locks in. And then if you wanted to pose him in a bayonet style position with a beam saber at the end for close range with the big rifle. But I quite like him with 2. I mean, he's got enough shielding and stuff around. I would be fighting hand to hand with this thing. It is that good. And thrusters and everything like that. It's got enough verniers and thrusters around it. So accessories, you don't get a whole lot. I would say 6 out of 10. Fun factor on the build. It was really fun to build. I quite enjoyed this one. This is only like my 2nd or 3rd Build Fighters kit, like I said in my my unboxing. So yeah, fun factor, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It was quite fun. Leftover parts. So you got a few runners, and you get on H2, that's the shoulder armor that's left over, which I can add that on that side and make it more symmetrical, which is kind of cool. I think I've got a leftover, because of the backpack you won't see it, but you should actually have a GN drive mounted on this back of it, the GN drive towel, the copies. So that should be on the back, and it probably could clip in there if I didn't want the backpack on to there. So, you know, you get a few spares. I think that's chest armor on there. They look like feet. I'm not sure what these are. It doesn't mention. This looks like part of possibly a shield. We did have some leftover polycaps, a few there. On this runner, these look like feet skis, which I thought was on the Advanced Jinx, which I saw on another review channel recently. 2 parts for the rifle on the Sea Runner. So their feet, a rifle. I'm not sure if it's complete. I'd have to look up the images on another website to check it out, but yeah, I think that's the original Jinx rifle. There's more front skirt, I believe that is. There's the other part of the GN drive, so you can make a complete GN drive for the back of this. Some more armor parts, that would be leg or backpack again, I assume. And same there. So a few leftover pieces, and I mean, that's quite handy. If you're a customizer, a builder, then these bits will come in handy over time. So let me just position that there. It's his feet for you. Oh, it's not going to stand. Oh no, there it is. It's going to stand. So that's it, guys. Final score. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was pretty good, pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And what I'm going to enjoy more is next time I show you in the next review, it'll probably be using the Gundam markers to give this guy some color, some added to it. And maybe I'll switch out the backpack for the GN drive just to show you something different. Overall, a pretty good kit. Highly recommended, would purchase. Alright guys, thanks for watching. As always, check out the YouTube channel for all our other videos and reviews. You know, Master Grades with Danik and Reggie. I'm doing the high grade, real grade stuff and tools. And yeah, we feature builders and everything else. So if you haven't already, subscribe. You get the notifications on our weekly releases. And as always, enjoy yourself. Bye bye.